Wow, welcome. I want to welcome every one of us to this Data Analytics Academy. And I want to believe that we are going to be having a lot of exciting moments and a learning platform through this journey. Um, what the first topic that we'll be dealing with today is data analytics essentials. That is what we want to look at today. What is data analytics and what are the things that we need to know. I remain your humble self, Abdul Rashid Adeye is my name, and I'm an IBM Cognos developer, data analyst. I'm a leader advocate, and I'm an entrepreneur. From IBM, they said that data is oxygen, and indeed, that's true. So I have a question for us. If you are asked that which is the most valuable between these three, which are you going to pick? This is a rhetorical question for us to pick anyone. Is it gold? Is it oxygen? Or is it oil? Which one is most valuable? Please answer that question and feel excited as we move along. Okay. Okay. In 2017 in India, we have Mukesh Ambani. He made a statement. He said, data is not only the new oil, but also the oxygen of digital economy. So it means that whenever we are talking about digital economy, technology, AI, this, that, you can't rule out data. Data is very important. In fact, it is not only the new oil, it's the oxygen. You know, if you remove oxygen from anything, from a living thing, that thing is dead. And what is really selling most now is oil. So data is as valuable as oil and is as valuable as oxygen. We see data is life. Yeah, data is life indeed. Okay, this is what we'll be looking at today, meaning of data analytics, big data ambience, the branches of data analytics, and what are the tools that you need, and the job opportunity. Wow. Yeah, the job opportunity. Many people will be excited at these parts of the course already. Okay, so what's data analytics? See, data analytics is the process of analyzing raw data in order to make conclusions about information contained in the data. Whenever you have a data set that has so many columns, so many rows, how are you going to analyze that data so that you can make so many conclusions about information that is contained in the data? For instance, we are in the COVID-19 era now. We have a lot of data sets that many people are put together. If you see those data sets, you can't really understand or make some meaningful deductions from it. But as a data analyst or data analytics will now make you to deduct or to bring out some inferences from that series of data that is just bunch of numbers and letters. And that is what data analytics is all about, to tell you the most occurring okay, for instance, I could tell you the country that have the most case of coronavirus, the one that have the most death cases, the one that has the most recovery states, and so on and so forth. So it's during that process of data analytics or data analysis that you'll be able to make a lot of inferences from the data that you are given. Now, at the same time, we have what is known as business intelligence. We say it refers to technologies and applications for the collection, integration, analysis, and presentation of business information so as to support better business decision making. Business analytics essentially is talking about the technologies that we are going to use in order for you to collect those data, to integrate those data into the platform that you want to use for analysis, and for you to present that data for business managers. Yeah, for business or CEOs or those in charge of business, in order for them to have a data driven decision. Because most business at times they make decision without having data, or they are making a wrong decision from the data that they have. So, but you as a data analyst, if you are giving them inferences from the data that they have, and you are also assisting them to make a better decision, so you're saying what you are giving them is what is known as business intelligence. In fact, you can say that uh, business intelligence is the data analytics that you use for businesses. So when you are not talking about business, you are talking about something else, then that is purely data analysis. At times, some people use them interchangeably, and that might be correct in some other platform. So we say a process of examining raw data to find trends and answer so many questions. We can call it data analytics and or beta business intelligence as well. Okay, this is the big data ambience. We have something that we call big data now that is a bit different from the traditional data that we all know before. The traditional data, you use pen and paper to collect data, but now we don't use all that again. You use so many filters to get your data, maybe so many applications, Excel, SQL, and so on and so forth. So in that big data ambience, there are so many neighbors, or let me say siblings, that are there that are working hand in hand for you to have a productive data and an insights or data analytics. We have the data architect, we have the administrator, we have the developer, we have the scientist, and the analyst. So we say all these work hand in hand to produce a meaningful analysis. You can't rule out one, although in some other places we can have just one person that is going to do the work of all these five nice looking guys. But in a normal setting, each person should have their role, a specific role to play. Now let's look at each of them and see what they do. The first one, we say big data architects. We say they define how the data will be stored, consumed, integrated, and managed by different data entities and IT system. Here, what a data architect will do is going to give you a frame, as in construct, like where are you going to store your data? Are you going to this kind of data that is coming? Is it good for you to store it in Microsoft Excel, or you have to store it in maybe SQL Server, or you have to store it in other platforms that are more robust? They are going to uh, give you where to store them based on the volume of data that you'll be working with. If you have an SME that is not really having a lot of data, so they can easily store those ones in Microsoft Excel. But if you have those that are bigger enough, then they can store them in the server. So that's the work of a data architect. A database developer, what they do essentially is they develop the applications that you use to store the data. For instance, Microsoft Excel can be used to store data. So a developer, a series of database developer, they developed Microsoft Excel. As in they write so many code to develop the application, then so many other database applications, the SQL, we have a lot of them in various series. We have the Oracle, we have the Azure, you see MySQL, you see Postgres and all. So developers develop them from scratch. So that is the work of a database developer. A database administrator is someone who uses software to store, organize data, and make sure that data is available to user and is secure from unauthorized access. Essentially, what a database administrator does is he ensures that someone that does not have that does is not does not have access to particular data does not have access, or someone that does not have license or is not supposed to have access to particular data we now have access to it, maybe with password or with a secured link or something like that. So that is the essential work of a database administrator, and it also makes the data available for those that um, should have access to it. The data will be readily made available for them to use. While a data scientist, they use scientific method and algorithm to extract knowledge and insight from many structured and unstructured data. So a data scientist eventually write codes. You can write it in Python or in R programming languages because they are being built to extract a lot of data, and they are going to do a lot of analysis from that as well. So it deals essentially with writing code, creating models that are going to work um, in order to classify the data or to do clustering and so many other mathematical and statistical knowledge that you can bring out from the data. While a pure data analyst, he uses okay, a data scientist also clean the data up, the thorough uh, cleaning of a particular data is being done by a data scientist. Along the line, will tell us what data cleaning is in detail. Data cleaning is essentially okay, removing the errors, where you have no value. What should we do? If they are missing value, what should we do, and all like that. So that's in summary. So while a data analyst uses already cleaned data to bring insight from the data and give data-driven intelligent decision extracted from the data, they will use the data that have been cleaned by a data scientist. Although a data analyst also clean data, but is not as thorough as that of a data scientist, and is going to bring out intelligence, business intelligence, to assist business owners in order for them to make data-driven decisions. So that is all how all of them work hand in hand. Now we have branches of data analytics. We have four branches. Please let's take note of this trend. The first two, we have descriptive and diagnostic. They are talking about data that are in the past. Data that are past tense, that are things that have happened in the past. If you store them and you want to run analysis on them, then that is a either descriptive or diagnostic. But if you're talking about data in the future, maybe you've not gotten it, but you want to say that, okay, what could happen in the future, then that is predictive or prescriptive analysis. So let's just quickly look at each of them. Descriptive analytics talks about it asks the question what, as in what happened in the past. That is what descriptive analytics what to talk about. For instance, we all know the popular Titanic that happened in the past, and there's a particular data for all those people that the boarded the ship as at that time. That particular data, when you want to analyze what is the metrics, or what is the demography of those people that boarded the ship, then you are doing a descriptive analysis. You are telling us, okay, how many males, how many females, how many siblings, how many, what's the amount, these, who are those in the first class, second class, third class. You are doing it descriptive, and you're answering the question, what happened in the past based on this data. Now, for diagnostic analytics, it is going to be asking the question why, meaning that why did that thing that happened, why did it happen in the past? We all know that the Titanic ship capsized, so it will be asking why did it capsize. So it's going to be looking into the data also in the past and be looking at important features. What could have made it to capsize? Is it because we have more females than male? Is it because we have more people in the lower class than the first class than the second or third class, or something like that? So he's going to be looking at the past and be telling us why did that thing happen. So that is this a diagnostic analysis. Why for the future? We have the first one is prescriptive, and it will be asking the predictive. Sorry, predictive analysis will be asking the if. That means that if something happened, or what could happen in the future based on this data. For instance, now we all know that the coronavirus is still a pandemic in the whole world, everywhere, Nigeria, Africa, the whole world. Everybody is facing it except some few countries that have gone over it for a while now. So there are some times, like at the beginning of the coronavirus, when Lagos State in Nigeria were gathering data, there was a prediction by the Ministry of Health in Lagos State. I think essentially by the Commissioner of Health in Lagos State. He says, he's a professor, he says, with the trend of things that Lagos State is going to be having up to like 30 or 39,000 cases of coronavirus. That is the predictive analytics. It's predicting based on the data that they have as at that time. As well, from the World Health Organization, they have predicted that coronavirus is still going to be around for like 2 years. So that is also a predictive analytics. While prescriptive will be telling us what should we do when we have this particular challenge or particular problem, or how do we deal with this. As we all know that the coronavirus started in Wuhan 2019, if most countries have done a prescriptive analytics and they are well prepared to say that, okay, if this coronavirus get to our country, these are the measures that we are going to put in place, this, that, sanitize as early as possible, close uh, the airports, no importation and all like that. So if they are doing that based on the data that they have, As at that time, we are going to call that's a prescriptive analytics. They are prescribing a particular solution based on the data that they have at hand. So those are the four. Remember, this descriptive and diagnosis are past, while prescriptive, predictive, and prescriptive are talking about the future. So these are the tools that you need as a data analyst, as a data analyst. And please, you have to pay attention to detail. The first one are the technical skills. So you need your Microsoft Excel, very, very essential, either Microsoft Excel or spreadsheet, anyone goes. Then you need your structure query language, is very, very important. Then you need your Python programming or R. Essentially, Python is a very robust programming language, but we just need a part of it that deal with data analysis. Then you need data visualization tools. You have like Power BI, Tableau, IBM Cognos, and a host of them like that. And apart from these technical skills, we also need some soft skills, because these soft skills are going to position you better uh, in the industry and in your journey as a data analyst, because it is not enough for you to have all these skills. You need to have the soft skills as well. Firstly is critical thinking. You should be able to think critically and bring out insight from the data that you have. Then presentation skills, like communication skills. You can have your data. You could have created a lot of well-looking dashboard and report. If you can't present them very well to your managers, it's as good as not doing anything. So you need to have a very sound communication skills. Then you need a storytelling. Even if you have arranged all your data, but they should connect with one another, and you should be able to tell us a good story from that. They need your basic statistical knowledge as well. Not that you need to be a very staunch statistician, no, but at least some basic statistical knowledge, your measure of dispersion, measure of central tendency, your correlation, your regression, some basic ones are also needed, because you'll be coming across them along the way. So if you don't understand what they mean, it might give you a little bit of a challenge. So you need problem solving skills. Whenever there is a problem, you should be able to provide solution to that problem. So these are essential soft skills. You can take up courses along the line in order for you to upgrade these skills. They are free courses and they are paid ones. They are going to really assist you a lot, and we are going to have a nice day along the way. So now we want to look at the jobs opportunity. We can be a BI data analyst, that's business intelligence data analyst, along the way, analyzing data in order to give business data driven decisions. And you can be a data visualization developer. What you're doing here, you're only giving visualization to the data, okay, in charts and graphs and all like that. You can be supporting the IT system. So you can be an IT system analyst. You can work in the healthcare sector, especially in the pharmaceutical sector, and in hospitals. They need data analysts a lot, because they do have a lot of data, and they need to analyze and bring insight from them. You can be a data engineer, you can be a data scientist, quantitative analyst, a data analyst consultant working on your own. Then you can be a digital marketer. Even in digital marketing, there are some analytics part of it, and if you don't have those basic knowledge, you may not be able to move faster. So we can work in any sector of the economy and even work remotely. There is no part of the sector that you can work in: education, economy, in the corporate world, in medicine, or in the medical line, even in teaching. You can always use your data analyst skills. So that will be the end of the first class that we'll be having. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and do have a lovely and wonderful day ahead. So we are going to meet again in our Microsoft Excel basics class. Thank you very much.